I know that I have made my fair share of jokes about Harry's body language in regard of how does he look when he's around, the wife. And, it's no wonder that we could be worried about his mental state if nobody has asked the question, is Harry okay? Because for all that the Sussex squad wants to make us think that they are living their best lives, the pictures, most of the pictures say otherwise. And I can understand that this is a broad generalization, but I know. This is a generalization, and they have put a lot of effort in proving me wrong, trying to find pictures that say otherwise, even if those pictures, sometimes, I don't know if I could say that they project happiness, but still, you got a star for trying. Much more interesting is when you have accounts like Kristen Meinster, who says, a bit of perspective. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have now been happily together for 6.5 years. At the same point in their own relationships, Charles was cheating on Diana with Camilla, Andrew and Fergie were separated, and Anne and Mark had filed for divorce. Now, we could play the comparison game all day long, and this is only going to get nasty because, the pictures before and after Meghan speak for themselves. And not to mention that the Sussex squad has a trajectory of defending Harry and Meghan at all costs. Well, they are their fans, so I guess that's right. But they have gone to extremes like that nonsense of complaining that King Charles' coronation is going to be on Archie's birthday, and that how ice cold, how insensitive from the grandfather, Archie's grandfather, and that reaction is completely justified. Reaction from the Sussex squad, but I did not see that reaction when Harry on Archie's third birthday, he just went for a polo match and, nothing happened. Thanks whoever posted this image on Twitter for the first time. We can find that this was Harry on Archie, his son's third birthday, but how inconsiderate of King Charles to have his hour-long coronation on his grandson's fourth birthday. And by the way, as Audrey Forbes Hamilton points very wisely, if the coronation begins at 11 a.m., which is likely, it'd only be 3 a.m. in Montecito, all done and dusted before Archie wakes up for his breakfast waffles. But I think the real problem is that Harry is subject to so many inconsistencies in his life, and those recollections not from the royal family, but from Meghan, that is changing the narrative like every week with her podcast Arsewives, and such statements like Harry himself, and this was Prince Harry giving a speech on mental health at the Heads Together training day in February 2016. He said he met too many people in critical situations, yet on the Oprah interview, he stated he was ashamed to help Meghan with her mental health. Let that sink in. So I think all these narratives, all these anecdotes, all these statements, recollections, like fighting each other against each other to, have some sense in Harry's life, I think that is one of the reasons he has that face so many times. And yes, if we boil that down to a comparison game, the pictures where he is looking nothing short of miserable are going to win the day. They are not 100% his facial expressions, but they are a good deal of them. So that's just the tip of the iceberg in regards to contradictions. Now imagine Harry trying to reconcile all of it into his memoirs, have a shocking plot to it so he can sell copies, please Meghan at the same time, and not blow up every single bridge left with the royal family. That's quite a challenge, and we're talking about Harry here. So it's a good thing that he has a ghostwriter to give him maybe two hands And thanks to Baroness Brock on Twitter who brought this to my attention. Prince Harry, the memoir, as imagined by Ben Mashel, an impressive piece of satire about, Harry's memoirs. The Duke of Sussex is said to be writing a final chapter to his book. What it will say, we can only guess. And I'm going to read it, but first a big shout out to the author of this piece, Ben Mashel, who has a book, The Unusual Suspect, and it has nice reviews, even from Lee Child, so go follow him or buy his book, and let's get down to this. As I write these words, the sun is setting over Santa Barbara. My children, for I am a father, are sleeping soundly in their beds. My wife, for I have a wife, is in the podcasting wing of a house it seems we are already outgrowing. I feel a rush of pride just knowing she is there, creating content, channeling her innocent wisdom and fierce humility into streamable form. She has a gift the whole world should subscribe to. I am in awe. I shut my eyes, I breathe, I ground myself, and affirm that I am the man I truly deserve to be by reciting a short mantra. Blowing up insurgents in an Apache gunship is not a good laugh, I whisper. Blowing up insurgents in an Apache gunship is not a good laugh. I say it over and over again, which makes it true. Eventually, I reopen my eyes and look at the laptop before me. I type with a renewed clarity and purpose, both fingers attacking the keyboard, firing round after round of my truth into the little letters below. This is not the epilogue I had planned to write. When I first pitched my tell-all autobiography, provisionally titled Going Spare, the Second Son's Story, I was angry. I see that now. I was only halfway through my learning journey and was stuck in a mindset of everybody is a bastard and out to get me, which, incidentally, I also considered as a title. No amount of Mankey string bracelets could hide that hurt. Apart from my tight inner circle, Oprah, Banksy, Princess Frederick of Schleswig-Holstein, Soderbergh, Glucksberg, I felt isolated and alone. The original epilogue I wrote was very short. It just read, "This book is dedicated to my family, a bunch of totally repressed, emotionally dead, ice-cold oddballs who have really fucked me up, not including Meghan and the kids." After writing it, and this is incredibly hard for me to admit, but I urge you to allow yourself the privilege of hearing it, I stayed up all night playing Call of Duty Modern Warfare on the PS4 I keep hidden in the pool house. When Meghan eventually found me, I had drunk 2 cans of hard seltzer and was on the verge of texting James Corden and asking him to bring round some CBD-infused cronuts. It is a testament to my wife's generosity of spirit that she found the courage to shame me for this. I am constantly astounded by her. She is right. I am a gammery weirdo. Perhaps I always will be. But then, if life has taught me anything, apart from the fact that costumes have consequences, see Chapter 8. For you, Harry, the ball is over. It is that time is a healer, because for all the sorrow that came with the passing of Her Majesty the Queen, it felt good to be back among my family, particularly after my publisher sent me an urgent memo pointing out that the Windsors are riding a tsunami of public popularity and that they couldn't risk releasing a 4-volume set of me slagging them to absolute shit. And that, what's more, they'd come for my $35 million advance if I didn't find a way to mellow out ASAP. I was humbled by their desire for me to find peace. Gripping my wife's hand tightly, for I have a wife, we stepped back into my old world, the vacuous world of unearned privilege and venal yes men that we had tried so hard to leave behind by moving to Los Angeles to work in entertainment media. Yet, in a way, it was cathartic. Dad, in particular, paid me lots of attention and showed a real interest in what I was up to. "What's going on with that book you're writing?" he kept asking. "What's in it? What do you say about me? How much are they paying you? Where are the proofs kept? It is somewhere prone to fires?" And here comes my favorite part. In fact, everyone in the family was full of questions about it. At one point, Wills took me to one side and asked if it was true that one of the chapters was called "My Brother the Boring Sanctimonious Slaphead and His Also Perfect Wife Who Tries Way Too Hard When Playing Sports Against School Kids in Photo Ops." I told him he was absolutely welcome to come up with something else if that was too triggering. This started an impromptu bout of punching therapy, which I think we both benefited from, before we made up and spent the rest of the night doing our Paul Burrell impressions. And now I am back in California, reflecting on a life of hikes and lows and lessons learned. Outside, the cicadas chirp, and the gentle ping of emails from Netflix executives tell me I am indeed at home. Having once been trapped in a gilded cage, my life is now as simple as anyone else's. I go to the gym. I browse Rightmove for mansions, but mansions we can really grow into as a family. I play polo to an incredibly high standard. I listen to my wife's podcasts and marvel at her elegant insight, her heroic modesty, her fragile strength. My phone vibrates and I smile to see it is another text from my dad. "Harry, tell me what's happening with this book. I'm begging you," it says. "I'll give you money if you want. Name anything. Anything at all." Wow! Attentive and generous. I feel overcome with gratitude. I radiate joy. I sweat positivity. I hit the contractually agreed word count. Tell me if this isn't genius. I truly enjoyed this, and this is the perfect kind of satire. You know that this blend between a joke, between the facts, and that subtle poking at the character of the person, and in this case works perfectly. Again, this was written by Ben Mashel, so check out his Twitter account, maybe follow him, and check out his book too. My Body Language buddies, my name is Jesus Enrique Rosas, I'm the Body Language Guy, and remember to subscribe and hit that bell if you don't want to miss any of my videos and lives. Much love and bliss.